Welcome in, Bears fans and fans of Most Valuable Podcast. My name is Mike Rankin, and this is the inaugural post-Bears game video. I'm going to be breaking down each week, post-Bears game, win or lose. I mean, they lost week one. I'm going to get into everything. I got my Jay Cutler jersey on. If you're a Jay Cutler hater, first of all, how dare you? What are you I don't understand it. What more can this man do for you to support him? It doesn't matter because... all right, that's irrelevant right now. Jay Cutler's the least of our worries, and I'll tell you why. Did you see the second half of the Texans game? That was brutal. Absolutely brutal. Now, I'm going to break down some stuff. I have some opinions on some things and some stuff, so let's get right into it. Opening day, September 11th, in Houston. You know what? Going into this season, maybe I was a little optimistic saying the Bears are going to go 10-6, but hey, it gives me hope, and I say this, if you're a fan of Behind the Pen, I say this over and over again. I'm optimistic because of the upgrades they made in the front seven and the talent they have on the offensive side. Going into that first half, they looked pretty good. Pretty damn good, I have to say. Opening possession, Tracy Porter had that big interception. I was really pumped. Jay Cutler drives down the field, throws a touchdown. You know what? Alshon Jeffrey was efficient, and the run game was efficient in the first half. Everything looked pretty good, right? They were down 10-7, and as the half expired, Cutler goes over the middle, drives him downfield to a wide open Eddie Royal in the end zone, and I'm going crazy in my house, right? You know what? Chicago Bears football does something to me. I don't know what it is, but it makes me yell and scream and act like I'm at the game, but I'm in my living room on my couch. Nobody can hear me, but I do it anyway. So I was pumped. 14-10 going into halftime. Like, this is Houston Texans team. They made the playoffs. Yeah, they got killed, but still, they're a playoff team, one of the best defenses. They will see, the Chicago Bears will see all season, and they're hanging right in there. Brock Osweiler didn't look too terrible. I mean, he was all right, I guess, but he didn't look like he was that much too much to handle in the Bears' perspective. Defense played well. Jarrell Freeman was all over the field. All of these positives, right? Then the second half hit. And you know what happened? No adjustments were made. None. None. And I blame the coaching staff wholeheartedly for a lot of the reasons why the Bears failed. Now, player-wise, let's look at the negatives, because there's plenty of them. The offensive line needs work. The interior, their guard play, Sitton, Whitehair, and Kyle Long, they're great. Josh Sitton and Kyle Long are arguably the two best guards of their position in the NFL. And Cody Whitehair stepped in, didn't look terrible. He had that botched snap in the first half on that fourth down play, cost them. Still, growing pains were expected with Whitehair. They were able to overcome that because they were winning at halftime. But in the second half, consistently, and you know what, I'll say this. The Houston Texans on defense looked like they were saving some disguised blitzes for the second half. And they knew they could take advantage. Because each tackle spot, Charles Leno and Bobby Massey, they had no answer. J.J. Watt, not that big of an influence in this game, but the fact that he was able to play opened up different stunts for different players on the defensive line, and it was a shit show. Cutler was getting hit in the sternum over and over again, and you're talking about a guy who gets up after getting cracked in the ribs consistently. Consistently, and people have a problem with Jay Cutler as a Chicago Bears quarterback. I said this in the opening. He's not the reason why the Bears are bad. The Bears are bad because they have a weak tackle position on each side. Cutler has no time to throw the ball. But you know what? I'm a little hard on them because, like I said, the Houston Texans are going to be the toughest defense the Chicago Bears will face this year, most likely. So I'm looking forward to the teams they play ahead, and I'm optimistic that they can get better. But staying on this Texans game, there were some things that irked me. One of them was a specific play involving the Houston Texans and the Chicago Bears, obviously. 4th and 1, Brock Osweiler. This changed the whole game. Third quarter, late in third quarter, it looked like they had him stuffed. And he was stuffed. If you look at every single replay, he was stopped short in that 4th down play. The refs, generous spot. All right, first down. That's a 4-point swing right there. Instead of holding them to a field goal in that situation, I'm sorry, it wasn't 4th down, it was a 3rd and 1. Instead of holding them to a field goal in that situation, they end up driving downfield and scoring a touchdown. 20-14 is a lot different than 16-14. So that was a key play there. And at the same time, really the Bears offense just had nothing going for them in the second half. Overall statistics, the Texans had 344 yards of total offense compared to the Bears' 258. 73 of the Bears' 258 came on rushing, and that's not enough. The Bears have to establish the run game. Also, another key fact in this game, the Houston Texans were on the field on offense 13 more minutes than the Bears. 13 more minutes. The defense is exhausted. Jarrell Freeman's running all over the field. Danny Trevathan's running all over the field. You have a secondary who is throwing in random pieces. And they played okay. They did. But what concerns me is the deep ball. Will Fuller will torch the Chicago Bears secondary if they play them over and over and over again. If Brock Osweiler could get him the ball, it could have been a blowout before the third quarter. Regardless. 24-13. Yeah, I expected the Bears to win this game. They were right in it. They were in it really from the start. It was just unfortunate that in the second half, the coaching staff made no adjustments. Dowell Loggins, first half, looked okay, right? Calling plays. Offense was moving. He was consistent with the run game. Jeremy Langford looked really good, especially in the interior of the offensive line. They were opening up holes. That was encouraging. And you have to do that if you're going to succeed if they're Chicago Bears. But they went away from that. In the third quarter, they were pass heavy, especially in the start. As the quarter progressed, they shied away from the run game. You're getting Cutler killed. You're getting Cutler killed. And that's you can't do that. You can't do that. Dowell Loggins on offense needs to provide some sort of adjustments, especially when a team disguises blitzes so consistently and they have such a dangerous front seven as the Houston Texans did. Where's the screenplays? Where's the run game? Nowhere to be found. And the Bears got torched. Looking ahead. The Bears play the Philadelphia Eagles on Monday Night Football. I will preview that game behind the pen this week. Hopefully you guys can stay tuned for that. But I'm looking forward to it because this is going to be a pretty solid test for the Chicago Bears in their home opener, facing Carson Wentz, who absolutely torched the terrible Browns team. My God, the Browns looked awful. 0-1 to start the season is pretty much, honestly, what were we going to expect? Really? You beat the Texans. The best possible scenario is beat the Texans. So you start the season 0-1. These next few games coming up, it's up in the air. Bears are in every single one of those games. By no means is this division over after week 1. The Lions won, Vikings won, Packers won. So the Bears had the sole possession in last place, but that's not going to last for long. Super Bowl, Super Bears is not out of the question, my friends. Thank you guys for listening to me rant about the Chicago Bears. It's what I love to do, raw emotions after a loss. It's going to happen. I hope it doesn't happen consistently, but it wasn't too promising after last week. But it was a playoff team, so we'll see what happens. Stay tuned to Most Valuable Podcast. I will preview the Philadelphia Eagles matchup against the Chicago Bears this week. I'm behind the pen. Make sure, if you could, become a Patreon. Patreon.com/Most Valuable Podcast. It means a lot to us. We'll be able to do more exciting things, and maybe you'll see my face a little bit more if you want to. If not, whatever. I don't really care. I'm going to be here anyway. So I'm on Twitter, @Rankin906, @MostValuablePod. Follow us, please. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. We'll be here. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Bears fans. You're all great. We will see you all next time.